Who should Moses Itauma fight next? That is the $1 million question that I'm going to be answering in this video today. After his impressive second round KO of the former American football player Mike Mulligan last night in Glasgow. Very impressive victory. I watched it. I was very impressed. I learned a lot of new things about Moses Itauma. He showed me some traits that's needed to succeed in professional boxing. I think Joe Joyce will be a good opponent next up for Moses Itauma because Joe Joyce presents experience. Experience is a threat that Joe Joyce will bring because he possesses experience. He's been around for years. Joe Joyce is very durable. He's very durable. Yes, I know a lot of people are saying, no, Joe Joyce should hang it up, especially after that performance against Hrgovic. People are saying he should retire. He just doesn't have it no more. He's not talking correctly. But listen, I don't know if I was watching a different fight, but I thought Joe Joyce actually did well against Hrgovic. He was getting to Hrgovic late on. I think Joe Joyce still got 1 or 2 fights in him. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be for a title. Why not put Joe Joyce in there against a young, hungry lion so that Joe Joyce can test the hungry lion? Because look, this gives me reminiscence of Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois. Remember Daniel Dubois back in 2019, 2020, whatever, just before the lockdown? Well, it was during the lockdown, so maybe 2021, I believe. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Dubois was that kid as well. He was in a similar position as Moses Itauma. Dubois was meant to go in that fight and smoke Joe Joyce. But Joe Joyce had other ideas. We saw Joe Joyce eventually stop Daniel Dubois, broke his eye socket, whatever. That was a big learning curve for Daniel Dubois, and look at Daniel Dubois now. The next name is Dave Allen. Now, Dave Allen, was he last weekend? Was the fight last weekend or the week before? No, it must be last weekend. Dave Allen, we saw him stop Johnny Fisher. What was Johnny Fisher? Johnny Fisher was another prospect. 26-year-old, 25-year-old. Eddie Hearn hyping him up, saying, yo, this is the next best thing, whatever. Dave Allen took care of that kid, took care of business, knocked him the F out last weekend at the Copper Box Arena in London. So Dave Allen, he's got momentum right now. Dave Allen, I know he's got ambitions of a British title, but David Adelaide and Jimmy Chikeva are fighting over that. There's a rematch in August sometime. In the meantime, why not jump in there with Moses Itauma? Listen, one thing Dave Allen will give you right now, with the momentum that he has, he's going to go in there and fight. Dave Allen's got the experience now. He knows how to control a fight now. He's not fazed by pressure. He's actually taking that pressure in and using it as energy against his opponent. So Dave Allen will be a very solid test for Moses Itauma. Do you know what I mean? And also, I feel like Dave Allen deserves a big fight. He deserves a big money fight. Dave Allen has already proven to us that you feed him a prospect, mate, he could change the direction of a career of one of these guys, man. He's done it with Johnny Fisher. Listen, don't tell me people wasn't saying Johnny Fisher was that guy until Dave Allen did what he did to him last week. And in December as well, even though he lost. But I felt like Dave Allen won that. It was a robbery to me. So yeah, Moses Itauma versus Dave Allen. I think that's a potential big clash, British clash. That's what Moses Itauma needs. He needs these British fights. The third name I've got in there, Frazier Clarke. Now, Frazier Clarke, a lot of you guys and girls will remember that he had that war with Fabio Wardley. It was a draw. The rematch, he got absolutely obliterated. One of the most scary knockouts I've ever seen. The guy went numb. I was thinking, yo, he's gonna be spoon-fed for the rest of his life now. But thank God, he's all right. He came back. He fought against Ebenezer Tate. Won that. Slightly controversial. I think in the second round, Ebenezer Tate felt like the referee stopped the fight too early, which I agree. I felt like Ebenezer Tate still had a little bit more to give. Nevertheless, Frazier Clarke came back. He's back on that winning road. Do you know what I mean? He's back on that rebuild. The reason why I've picked Frazier Clarke for Moses Itauma, I've looked at their pro-level experience. They've got similar numbers. I mean, Frazier Clarke has had, what, 11 fights? Is it 11 fights? Yeah, 11 fights. He's won 9, lost 1, and drawn 1. Do you know what I mean? And Itauma he's 12 and 0. He's undefeated, 12 and 0. So even though Frazier Clarke is the older fighter and he's had a little bit more amateur experience, Frazier Clarke has had 64 fights. Is it 64 fights? Yeah, 64 fights in the amateurs and 25 fights. He lost 25 fights. So won 64, lost 25. Okay. Very experienced in the amateur level for Frazier Clarke. Obviously, he came into the pros a bit late. But he's won 9 fights here. Similar record with Itauma. I think that's going to be a good fight. I believe Itauma is slightly more skilled in the boxing department. He's got a bit more ability than Frazier Clarke. Even though I do like Frazier Clarke, but I think he lacks a little bit. So he could be vulnerable to some of those counters and the speed and timing. Frazier Clarke was being taunted as that guy as well that could do big things in British boxing and world level. So that would be a step up for Itauma. Now, the last name I've got on this list, Gerard Baby Anderson. Now, I know many of you say, yeah, but Enzo, come on, man. Gerard Baby Anderson, man. And Anderson, he got smoked by Martin Bakole. Yeah. Until that time, before Gerard Anderson got smoked by Martin Bakole, he was the next best thing since sliced bread as well. He was being hyped up as the next big prospect. He was basically Itauma 18 months ago, however long it was when Bakole knocked him out. He was that guy. Do you know what I mean? They were hyping this kid up from the US. Now, for me, that's a great matchup with Itauma because even though Gerard Anderson has more experience in the heavyweight division, like he's had more fights here, but they're only 5 years apart. So in terms of like their age, they kind of seem, do you know what I mean? They're both young guys. And why not for Itauma? I heard him say something about he wants to fight in the US, whatever, he wants to go US. Mate, perfect opportunity. Gerard Anderson, he's American. Why a way for Itauma to build his US profile by going over to the US. I don't know where Gerard Anderson is from. I don't know if, he's from Texas. Houston, Texas. Why not go fight Gerard Baby Anderson in Houston, Texas? Build your profile in the US. Do you know what I mean? Both these guys, well, in the case of Anderson, he was being taunted as the next guy. He was the next superstar in the heavyweight division until Martin Bakole put a pause on him. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's shitting on him. All of a sudden, it's not that good. But for me, he's good. He's still good. He's still young. He's 25. He can still learn. One defeat doesn't make you rubbish. I hate when people put that narrative across. Like, one defeat, you're done. No, he's still got a lot to learn. Him and Itauma, the battle of the prospects. Do you know what I mean? The battle of the prospects. Now, again, I have to say, from what I've seen from both fighters, I think that Itauma is more skilled. He has the better boxing abilities than Gerard Anderson. So I actually make Itauma favorite in that fight. But that would be a good scrap, man, because Gerard Anderson, he's going to want to prove something. He's going to be like, yo, I was the next best thing. I was that kid that was being hyped up. I was the prospect. You've just come along out of nowhere and just taken my place. I want it back. Do you know what I mean? Like, this fight between these two guys, like, is a way for Anderson to kind of like get some lip backs, win back some fans and shush the haters, man. Shut down the noise and everything like that and put himself back in line and show to the rest of us that, yeah, he is that guy. He is that young talent. He is that special talent that everyone was hyping up about, raving about, saying that he's going to be world champion in a couple of years. Great opportunity for Gerard Anderson to get back that status and for Itauma to build that brand in the US, because it's important, isn't it? If you're going to be a global superstar, if you're going to be big in boxing, if you're going to carry boxing, there's two markets here you need to dominate. The US market and the UK market. That's where boxing is at. That's why you see Turkey Al-Sheikh making fights in the US, making fights in the UK. You don't see big fights in Eastern European countries or even France or Western Europe or anything like that. The big fights are in the US, the UK, or Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, because that's where the money is. The money's at. Do you know what I mean? But Jared Anderson and Mosa Toma, man, mate, I'm telling you right now, that's a great fight. That is a great fight. Those are the 4 fights here that I think Mosa Toma should consider next up. Those are the 4. I'm gonna run them back. Joe Joyce for the experience, because Joe Joyce will bring experience. Dave Allen's got that momentum. He just took out Johnny Fisher. That's gonna be a big fight in Sheffield. They're gonna sell out the stadium. Him and Mosa Toma, British level fight. Dave Allen can cause some problems to Mosa Toma. Mosa Toma is gonna be tested. So Dave Allen's the second one. Frazier, Clarke, similar records in their professional careers. I think Frazier Clarke's got 9 or 10 fights, and Mosa Toma's got 12. Do you know what I mean? So again, solid British fight. Jared Anderson is a way for Mosa Toma to build his brand in the US, matching him up with this young rising star in Jared Anderson, even though he got smoked by Martin Bakole, but he's still one of the big names in US heavyweight boxing. Why not Mosa Toma go out there, fight him in his own backyard in Houston, smoke him? Mate, you've made it in America. You're big. Do you know what I mean? If you want to build a big brand, you want to make big money, you want to be in big fights, in America, you need to be known. They need to know you. Otherwise, mate, you're not going to get nowhere. Do you know what I mean? These are the 4 fights. Guys and girls, let me know in the comments what you think of them. Who do you think Mosa Toma should fight next? Let me know in the comments. I'll really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for watching EMGN Sports. It's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. Please don't forget to smash the like button. Leave your comments in abundance. And also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, because that's the only way you're going to help us to grow. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace.